Back in the kitchen. We are here for cake number 3 of my year of cakes. And today I'm making something for Valentine. So I'm going to make a heart-shaped cake. I don't have a heart-shaped cake tin. So I watched some tutorials about how to cut cake into the heart shape. We'll see how it goes. It's going to be a vanilla cake layer, vanilla sponge, and strawberry filling with a strawberry buttercream. So let's start putting it together. First things first, we're going to start with our vegan buttermilk. I'm adding in 2 cups of oat milk and 1 tablespoon of white vinegar. Stir this together and set it aside. Bringing the stand mixer over, we're going to do our dry ingredients. So I have 2 cups of all-purpose flour, and I have 1 tablespoon baking powder, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, and half a teaspoon of salt. And we'll whisk this together. I think this is called the balloon attachment, or the whisk. Okay, set this aside and back to the wet ingredients. So I have my vegan buttermilk here. It's been sitting for a couple minutes. Now I'm going to add in the rest of the wet ingredients. 3/4 cup of white sugar, 3/4 cup of vegetable oil, 2 tablespoons of vanilla extract. Combine this. Bring the stand mixer back. Adding in the wet ingredients to the dry, and whisk this together. Okay, that's combined. I'm just going to make sure it got everything in here. I'm gonna pour the batter into my cake tins. I use this recipe in the cookie dough cake and I use 6-inch cake tins, but today I'm using my 9-inch tins. I've already greased them and added some parchment. I'm just gonna evenly divide it. I'm gonna do 2 layers. My scale's not working. Felix started playing with it, so we'll have to eyeball this. Okay, these are going in the oven at 350 for about 25 minutes. Going to make the buttercream, adding half a cup of softened butter and 1 cup of vegetable shortening. Use the paddle attachment, and I'll let this whip up for probably 5 minutes. And I heard Eric awake, so we'll let this whip up while I get him. Eric is crawling around. He's up from his nap. I'm going to finish making the buttercream. So I'm going to add in 4 cups of icing sugar, and I will do 1 cup at a time. 2 cups. 3 cups. Woo! Oops. Sugar explosion. Okay, took a break. Gonna finish making this. So this is cup 4, and I might add a bit extra because so much flew up that last time. I'm going to add in a tablespoon of vanilla. Now I've got a tablespoon of oat milk. I'm doing 2 tablespoons of oat milk in total, so this is 1 more tablespoon. I bought freeze-dried strawberry to add in. I'm gonna do 1 teaspoon. I don't know if that's too much, we'll see. I think that should be good. It's got a nice faint pink color. I'm gonna do, so it'll be 2 teaspoons. 2 teaspoons of freeze-dried strawberry. Kind of more just coloring, so it still tastes vanilla, but I want to thin it out some more, so I'm gonna add more vanilla. Could have been milk, but. So now we'll start to decorate. Isn't this cutting board so cute? Matthew got me this for Christmas last year. Look at that, nice, my handle. Anyways, I've watched a couple tutorials about how to turn the cake rounds into a heart. And so there's a few different ways you can do it, but one that I liked was not getting rid of many scraps of the cake, I'll show you what I'm gonna try and do. But the way that they did it is they had already done it when it was iced, but I wanna put a jam filling in it. So I wanna cut them now instead of doing it later so that the jam doesn't fall out, if that makes sense. I'm figuring this out. So let's try, and we'll cut them at the same time. Okay, so they say to score the cake. Freya's having some water. And then connect okay, then when the cake is, when I've got the buttercream, I'll add these here. Yeah, actually, I'll add it there. I'm trying to add it where I cut it. And then, so from there, I'm going to, Freya. People are out on the lake fishing, so Freya is our guard dog. That I think will work. Yeah, and then it'll be filled with buttercream. Okay, let's start to decorate. And I'll stick it down at the bottom. And that is very close to the edge of this cake, or cake board. So I really should have a larger board to put this on, but we're working with what we've got. Okay, put some frosting, icing, buttercream. And I made some strawberry jam, just like a quick little jam, a compote with frozen strawberries. Oh, and I'm only doing one layer, so I can load this up. I think I need to reinforce this buttercream ridge, so I'm going to use a piping bag. Frosting the edge of this. I'll do the edge of the cake too. Glue that on there. Okay, that's on there pretty good. Next layer of the cake. It's actually really good to have it in a piping bag because you can see there's a bit of a gap here. Oh, and then I guess I have to put some frosting on here. These tips. Side over here. Put icing on this guy here and attach it. Yeah, that needs more icing. And put a nice layer of icing on here. Okay, I'm gonna put this in the freezer for a couple minutes. Okay, now I'm going to try and cover it up a little bit more with more icing. Smooth it out. Then I have some icing that I put in a piping bag. Let's try and smooth out these edges. That's pretty good. You can just try and smooth off the top a bit more. I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna do some piping with some frosting that I colored a bit differently. And I don't really know much about piping, so I'm just learning. And I need to practice. I need to spend some time actually practicing and learning how to pipe. That's cute. That vintage cake look. Let's see. So you can see the difference between the sides. I feel more confident with this side than I do with this side. Okay, this was really fun to do. I'm definitely a novice when it comes to piping, but that is something I think I can work on this year if I'm gonna be making all these cakes. So it'll be fun to see how my piping techniques and skills evolve over the year as well. Maybe I'll try to make like this, what kind of cakes are these? Like classic style, a traditional style, whatever. This kind of cake with like the fancy piping on it. Maybe I'll try one every 4 months and see, because I think I'll do piping in between. Anyways, let's dig into this. Let's slice it open. I'm just gonna slice the end off here. Looks good. Now, to give it a try. The filling is really good. I'm having total flashbacks to being 5, 6, 7 years old, getting the like sheet cakes for your birthday with the icing, and I always wanted to get the flour because if it was my birthday, I wanted the flour, but I didn't like icing. So I'm having such flashbacks to that right now. It's like the cake tastes like that. It tastes like those cakes you would have when you're a kid, and the icing is pretty sweet. So I think, but when I was a kid, I didn't have filling in them, and this filling is so good. So the cake and the filling is really good. The icing's a bit too sweet for me today. So I think I need to really work on Swiss meringue buttercreams because they're less sweet. But American style buttercream is so easy to work with. I gotta figure out a medium here. I gotta try some different. I gotta try this Swiss meringue buttercream some more. It's a tasty cake. Yeah, it totally makes me, I'm having memories of being a kid at my birthday. Well, I'm gonna finish this slice. That is cake number 3 of my year of cakes. super fun making that into a heart, practicing piping. The jam in there is one of the things I really like about cakes is the fillings. All the different kind of like flavor combos that you can put in there. That's really nice. I think I'll try a similar kind of cake but with a Swiss meringue buttercream in the future. They tend to be less sweet than the American buttercream, so we'll see. That is my cake for today. I already know what I'm making for next week. Next week it's gonna be a chocolate cake with a chocolate Swiss meringue buttercream because I've been wanting to try Swiss meringue buttercream. So we're doing it, chocolate, chocolate. We'll see how it turns out. If you have any ideas for other combos you'd like to see, please let me know. You can find the full recipe for the cakes on my blog. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do and like this video. We'll see you next week. Bye.